Okay, I'm going to call the City Council meeting on Monday, December 15th, 2025 to order. First item is roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings.
Present.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Here.
Councilmember Hammond.
Present.
Mayor Cantor.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Present.
Okay, invite all who wish to join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda with the following changes. Change number 1, poll item 7A2, the meeting minutes of the November 24th City Council meeting, pull that from the consent agenda. And add item 8K under action requests, a motion to approve recording of City Council study sessions.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, if no discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Okay, motion's been approved. Next, we have presentations. The first presentation is for the Lathrup Village Police Department.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor Cantor, City Council, my green residents, and Lathrup Village guests. Welcome to the December 15th City Council meeting. I wanted to take a few moments tonight and recognize 2 individuals who work for the Lathrup Village Police Department, 2 of which have worked very hard and earned the promotion to the rank of Sergeant. Officer Houston, Officer Roberts, can you stand before everybody, please? She is right over there, yeah. Officer Keith Roberts has worked for the Lathrup Village Police Department for 11 years, 4 months, and 1 day. I'm counting your part-time time, too. Officer Roberts grew up in the Livonia area and attended Churchill High School. He graduated from Central Michigan University and eventually Schoolcraft Police Academy. He is our patrol rifle instructor, our pistol instructor, taser instructor, shotgun instructor, assistant in the Detective Bureau. He's an evidence technician, an FBI crisis negotiator, a crisis intervention team member, field training officer, equipment manager, and also helps us with accreditation. Clearly, he's an integral component to this operation. Next, we have Jeremy Houston. Jeremy Houston has worked for the Lathrup Village Police Department for 7 years, 6 months, and 28 days. His total experience in law enforcement goes back to 2007, and he has a total of 17 years, 8 months, and 14 days on the job. He grew up in Pontiac and Oxford, graduated with a bachelor's degree from Northwood University, and went on to own his own construction company. Officer Houston and I both attended the Oakland Police Academy in 2007, where he broke my nose in defensive tactics. And I know you're going to give 110%, just like I told you to. He went on to serve the residents of Northville Township for 10 years and then came here. Officer Houston is our accreditation manager, a field training officer, assists in the Detective Bureau. He is our background investigator, for which he just got an award for, property room manager, hostage negotiator, and many other hats. At a small agency, you wear a lot of hats, and as you see from these officers' training resume, they are very important to us. For the sergeant's promotional process, these officers studied for 3 months and took an exam created by the International Association of Chiefs of Police. From there, they participated in an oral board that was administered by command officers from various police departments in the area. Their education level, seniority, and were all taken into account during the process. Lastly, they had a grueling interview with our soon-to-retire Chief McKee, where they equated like going 8 rounds with Mike Tyson. Both officers passed the overall process, and I have the honor and privilege today to announce their promotion to the rank of sergeant. So with us today are Officer Roberts' brother, Greg Roberts. Come on up, bud. He is a canine handler for Washtenaw County. And we have Officer Houston's daughter, Dylan Houston, here to pin their badges on. Come on up. You guys go ahead and pin your badges on. First line supervisors play a critical but often under-recognized role in law enforcement. These supervisors will have the most direct daily contact with officers as they act as role models and culture influences for the officers they supervise. First line supervisors can therefore have significant influence, both positive and negative, over how police department policies and practices are implemented in the field. Their role is critical to department operations and advancing the police department. Want to take our oath of office, please?
All right, so just, I'll do first, now Sargent Houston, if you could raise your right hand. I, Jeremy Houston, do solemnly swear affirm
I, Jeremy Houston, do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
uphold all federal laws,
uphold all federal laws,
state laws,
state laws,
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village.
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village.
And I will discharge my duties of police sergeant
And I will discharge my duties of police sergeant
for the City of Lathrup Village, Michigan,
for the City of Lathrup Village, Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
I, Keith Roberts, do solemnly swear affirm
I, Keith Roberts, do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
uphold all federal laws,
uphold all federal laws,
state laws,
state laws,
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village.
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village.
And I will discharge my duties of police sergeant
And I will discharge my duties as police sergeant
for the City of Lathrup Village,
for the City of Lathrup Village,
Michigan, according to the best of my ability.
Michigan, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. If you could sign this one right here for me on that line. Thank you. And then if you could please sign yours, right on that line right there. Thank you.
Congratulations, sergeants.
Yeah, congratulations, Keith. Very well deserved.
I got some last words for you guys. All the hard work as patrol officers has paid off. The dedication to your profession and the residents of Lathrup Village has been unwavering. You are both example of what it takes to be the very best of the best in our profession. As you take on this new role, please remember to watch over the men and women of this department. Keep a close eye on them. Learn when they're having difficult times and know when to step up and help. Those in this line of work see and hear things that no one else should, and it's okay to feel the weight of it all. But with your guidance and compassion, you will officially help continue to lead this department to greatness. I look forward to working with you as my command officers for the next years to come. So congratulations, Sergeant Roberts and Sergeant Houston.
Okay, next we have another don't go. We have another proclamation.
Yes, do you
How about the swearing?
Let me introduce our
Sorry.
new chief, if I may. Mike, I didn't count your part-time hours. Sorry. But Lieutenant Michael Zhang has 18 years. He's a veteran of the department. He has been a very, very vital role for the last 18 years. He has risen from the ranks of part-time patrol officer, full-time officer. Then he was a patrol sergeant on midnights for a while. Then he got moved into the Detective Bureau. He's done a great job for the last 9 years in the Detective Bureau. And 2 years ago, I think it was, you were promoted to lieutenant. And now it's my honor to actually introduce our new chief, Michael Zhang. And his wife Amanda is going to pin the bit badge on.
Zhang, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Michael Zhang, do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
uphold all federal laws, state laws,
uphold all federal and state laws,
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village,
and the ordinances of the City of Lathrup Village,
and I will discharge my duties of Chief of Police
and I will discharge my duties as Chief of Police
for the City of Lathrup Village, Michigan,
for the City of Lathrup Village, Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
So if I could just say a couple more things. Mike, it's been fantastic. You've been my right-hand man, and I don't think I could have done it without you. So I truly, truly appreciate it. And to the sergeants, thank you for your hard work, and welcome to the administrative side of things.
No.
Okay.
So, again, congratulations to the three officers. It's well-deserved, and we're lucky to have you guys. So, also want to read a proclamation for honoring the retirement of Chief Scott McKee. Whereas Police Chief Scott McKee has faithfully and honorably served the City of Lathrup Village with distinction and dedication throughout his career in law enforcement. And whereas Chief McKee began his tenure with Lathrup Village Police Department in 1996, rising through the ranks through professionalism, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to public safety. And whereas over the course of his service, Chief McKee has exemplified integrity, compassion, and a steadfast dedication to protecting the residents, businesses, and visitors of Lathrup Village. And whereas under his leadership, the Lathrup Village Police Department has strengthened community partnerships, advanced public safety initiatives, and fostered a culture of accountability, respect, and collaboration among officers and staff. And whereas Chief McKee's commitment extended beyond daily operations, including efforts to modernize department equipment and training, promote transparency, and support regional cooperation with neighboring agencies. And where his calm and steady leadership has guided the department through times of change and challenge, always with a focus on the well-being of both the community and his team. And whereas Chief McKee embarks upon his well-earned retirement, the City of Lathrup Village expresses its deepest gratitude for his years of faithful service and his lasting contributions to the safety and quality of life in our city. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Lathrup Village hereby recognizes and honors Police Chief Scott McKee on the occasion of his retirement, extends a heartfelt appreciation for his exemplary service, and wishes him happiness and good health and fulfillment in all his future endeavors.
Thank you.
Picture time?
Yeah, we should get a picture. You guys all want to come in front? Let's get a picture.
Let me say something real quick. So I just really wanted to say thank you to the council, thank you to the community, the residents that are here, and thank you to my colleagues. I appreciate all the support, all the friendships, all the trust, and it's just been great. It's allowed me to get to this point, so thank you to everybody. I appreciate it.
Hey, sergeants and the other chief.
Yeah, well.
The other chief.
It's a nice Christmas sweater.
No, you're good.
Yes, sir.
Of every month. Yeah.
I can have, where did McKee go? McKee.
Congratulations.
Scott. Jeremy. I want to have a point of privilege to say something about you.
You gonna say something nice?
I'm going to say something nice.
Don't worry, you gonna say something.
Yeah, I will say that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard say something nice.
That's what I heard.
Thank you. Excuse me, if I can have a point of privilege, because I wanted to say something for these two real quick. Go back and sit down.
Right here.
Mayor Pro Tem has something to say.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. Put a face with a
Real quick, guys.
I just wanted to say that you have been, both of you actually have been here since I've been here. And I said I was not going to tear up for you because I really got sad at the Thanksgiving dinner. You have done, and I'm saying this personally for me and to you all, I'm not going to leave you all out, but it's like it's been the three of us, right? And so I am just like, I'm going to miss you. I'll get you the pink cup. Soon, inside joke. Very soon, and I hope to see you out here. We're going golfing again sometime soon.
Sounds great.
And you have big shoes to fill. You're my third chief of the third one. So, and for you two, you all have been just. You and I hold a lot similarities, but you have given me courage also, and you have strengthened me just to watch you too. And then this is just my boy. You my boy. You're my absolute boy. So I'm so happy to. I know that's what I was about to say. I'm so happy to see you all in these positions. And so congratulations. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy your meeting.
Thanks, Chief.
We will.
I will.
Nobody wants to hang back and just hang out with us? That's enough. Nobody wants to hang out? Smart. Everybody's leaving. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we will continue moving on. The next item on the presentation, on the agenda, is another presentation regarding William H. Beske, and I believe Timothy Hillman is going to be making that presentation.
Good evening, everybody. It feels really special to present after that, so congrats to our police force and our new Chief Zhang. I'm honored to present this community gift to our city in tribute to William Beske, who gave his life in service to our country during the Vietnam War. Is Diane Anderson still here?
She is.
She is. Diane, would you wave your hand for a second, please? A few months ago, Diane Anderson brought to our attention a young man named Bill Beske. Diane knew Bill as a child, she knew his family, and she knew that Bill died in service to our country during the Vietnam War. She also remembered a time when there was a tribute to Bill here in City Hall, one that, over time, was lost. Diane is working on her own project for Bill, but when I heard his story, I felt compelled to contribute in my own way, and I wasn't alone. Along the way, a dozen or so fellow villagers stepped in to help. Many of you are here tonight, including Diane herself. This was, from the start, a shared effort, and I'm grateful for that. I used to live in Baltimore, and I've spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C. From those visits, I learned that volunteers will rub a veteran's name from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial onto a commemorative certificate. When I set out to obtain one for Bill to be displayed here in City Hall, I noticed that his niece had left a comment in the virtual tribute section of his profile. She included her email address. That small detail opened a door. Through my connection with Samantha, I was able to learn more about Bill, not just how he died, but how he lived. I learned that Bill grew up with his parents and 3 younger siblings on Sunnybrook. Samantha shared a photograph of all 4 children standing in front of that home. You can see it here on the display. Where was I? I learned that Bill attended the Annie Lathrup School and later Southfield Lathrup High School. His family also shared a letter, one I'll read in a moment, that captures Bill's spirit, his kindness, and the plans he had for his life. In the course of my search, I also came across this photograph right here. And a reverse Google image search revealed that it came from an issue of Life magazine. At the time, Life magazine decided to feature every young man and woman killed in a single week during the Vietnam War, and coincidentally, Bill was among them. His face, name, and sacrifice recorded in publication. At the time, the war was deeply controversial, coverage was hesitant, public opinion was fractured. That sentiment might feel familiar to you. It's a reminder that division is not new to this country. It's something we've wrestled with before, and yet we're still here. I hope this project can serve as a small reminder that even in divided times, we can choose something better. We can choose community, we can choose friendship, we can choose unity. Bill gave his life, like so many young men and women have, in service to a vision of America that endures. One that believes unity is not the absence of disagreement, but the decision to keep standing together anyway. My hope is that Bill's memory and the promise of a future cut short reminds us of our responsibility to one another and to this Lathrup Village community to keep working toward a shared and hopeful future. With that, I'd like to read the letter from Bill's family. William H. Beske Jr., affectionately known as Bill, was born September 29, 1947, and died May 24, 1969, on the date of his parents' wedding anniversary. Bill was an exceptional young man. He was an acolyte for the St. David's Episcopal Church in Southfield. He had a beautiful singing voice, and he was in the choir at Southfield Lathrup High School. He had aspirations to become a chef and was enrolled at the Culinary Institute of Connecticut when he was drafted to the U.S. Army. He was kind, always willing to help, and had a smile for everyone. He was engaged to be married to a wonderful young woman by the name of Mary Lou when he was deployed to Vietnam. We received a notice that he was missing in action first, and then, 2 weeks later, we received the official notification that Bill had been killed in action. He was the first young man to be killed in action from the Lathrup Village and Southfield areas. He is remembered with love by his sisters Deb and Linda. He has, since his passing, been joined by his parents, Helen and Bill Sr., and his younger brother, John. Thank you. And thank you to Jonathan Terra for holding that up for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to Tim, Diane, and everybody who worked to put that together. You know, we don't know what happened to the previous memorial, but this is definitely a fitting replacement, and will hang proudly in the lobby. The lobby? Is that what? Second floor. Yeah. Lobby of City Hall. So thank you all for doing that and making that presentation. The next item on the agenda will be public comment for items on the agenda. So these are any of the items that are on the agenda. You'll have up to 3 minutes. Again, remember, it's not a discussion. This is an opportunity for you to state your comments about items that are on the agenda, and then council will have the ability to respond as we go through those items on the agenda.
Lauren Barris, Golden Gate. I just want to say, after that celebration with the police and everything, I mean, I know we have to make cuts. We're going to have to make cuts because Headley didn't pass. And this isn't punishment to the village cuts, it's the consequence of Headley not passing. Cuts have to be made. But I really hope that it's not the police department. I hope that public safety isn't something that we have to cut. And I hate the idea of losing a library, but I hate the idea of losing the police even more. So I just wanted to say that.
Go ahead.
Ian Ferguson, Lathrup Village. I wish to express my appreciation to Diane Anderson for not giving up on Bill. I'm a veteran, and every time I try my best to shine a light on the efforts of veterans and how they sacrifice everything to keep this country free. So Diane, I appreciate you doing that and not giving up. Really appreciate that. Council, Mayor Cantor, Pro Tem Garrett, I'm respectfully requesting that you table item G. I am not going to mention what item G is, but in light of this celebration, in light of our chiefs transitioning, I think this is a celebratory day, and I think we should table it until January of 2026. We want to keep clear demarcation on celebrations, just like we celebrated all of you guys being sworn in. I appreciate Chief McKee. I celebrated him a couple of days ago, and I just want him to move on after spending 30 years in service of this city and other cities. And now we have a person that started as virtually a kid. Now he's our chief, and I just want to have a clear demarcation and a celebration of this department so we can just honor them today. Let's just table it. I ask that all of you vote to table item G. Thank you.
Good evening. I just wanted to take a quick moment as Lisa Ford, resident here in Lathrup for several decades now, and just wanted to first of all say I'm very grateful to see the changing of the guard here with the police chief and also with the sergeant promotions. I especially wanted to touch base though with as we talk about what needs to be done with our budget. That we don't lose the importance of having our own police department. I know there are a lot of challenging issues that exist. I am a CPA, I'm a numbers person, I get it, I understand it, but I am convinced that having a police department where we know the names, I know Scott's name, right? I see the officers as we go by. There are intangibles that we cannot put a price tag on for having our own staff where the residents not only feel comfortable and are recognize that they have the respect of the police department, but the police department can also recognize that they have the respect of the residents. And even, I'll end it with this, with the issues that exist across the country where we do have to evaluate where our police departments and other issues actually stand. There is something to knowing the face. You hire someone who is a contractor and you're likely to have more issues. They're not just the people that they know every day. And so I know that there's a compassion and empathy that comes from having our own police force. And so I ask you guys to respectfully consider that.
Thank you.
Juanita McReynolds. I'm a 26-year resident of Lathrup Village, and I'm not a CPA or an attorney or anything, but I wanted to share my personal experience as it relates to keeping our police department. In the midst of the pandemic in 2020, I lost my husband, and I was almost 70 years old, alone, and I remember calling the police station with some concerns I had. And I don't know the officer's name, but he asked me if I was alone, and I said I was. He asked me if I had children who would check on me, and I said I did not. And after a conversation that made me feel very comfortable and safe, he asked me if I wanted to be part of the Adopt a Senior program. He said someone will check on you, either call you or come by, and they have not missed a beat. And I know names of officers as well. I've served lemonade and I've served cookies, and they've been to my home when I called out. I tell you, I had to have surgery, and it was Rock, Officer Rock. Says, you need anything? I said, well, you know, I can't walk, so I can't take my trash down. He said, if you could get it outside the door, I will get it down there for you. And Officer Houston and another officer came after some other things, and they were just always there for me, and I hate to see them lose their jobs as well. So if you could keep that in mind. There are people like me who really rely on these people. We know their names, and we've had them in our homes. I know their babies, And I just wanted to express that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marietta Leon, and I have been a resident in Lathrup Village for a little over 10 years now. I'm also an elementary teacher, and with this cold weather, it has brought a lot of indoor recess. And one of the things that my students love to do is take dominoes and stack them up and make these awesome designs that go through my classroom, under their desks, over their crayon boxes, through other people's games. And then with one push of the domino, everything that they worked so hard for comes crumbling down. And to me, our police department, the men and women who protect our community, is that first domino. I'm afraid if we lose our police department, we will ultimately lose our city. There will be no more neighborhood patrols with the windows down and a hand waving to you as you walk your dog or cut your grass. Cars will speed through our streets and run stop signs as they cut through our neighborhood. Response times to calls will rise or go unmet because a more severe problem has to be dealt with first. We will become a number in a system instead of being known by our first name. We lose attracting new residents and businesses because we are not the safe city that we once were. Current businesses might not renew their lease or even choose to leave. Taxes, I'm sure, will rise, home and auto insurance will definitely rise, and the list goes on as the dominoes continue to fall. Having a police department is something we often take for granted. Many of us are lucky enough to have not had to interact with the wonderful men and women on our police force, but if you have met any of the officers on our force, like I have over the years, you know what amazing, hardworking officers we have, and what a tragic blow this would be to our community. I don't envy the work you have in front of you. As elected officials, I know you have our best interests at heart. I also know that each of you are residents of this great city, and losing our police department would also affect you and your families as well. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. Happy holidays.
Can you say your name again in here?
Marietta.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. William Whitehouse, Saratoga. I was hard-pressed to see anyone here voting to get rid of the police department. I think if we pulled the Lathrup Village on one hand, we couldn't find people that would want to get rid of our police department. I think that's part of our identity. This is what keeps us safe at night. This was where we know that there's no concerns because we have a connection to the city through our public safety individuals. I've been in the city for a long time. I'm in the house that my great-grandfather built in 1954. I moved in the city in 1977 when I was 7 years old. This is an incredible community. And slowly we're trying to transform ourselves, and we may be losing our community by considering things like this. I think there are ways that we could discover having additional funds. I think there's ways we can just maybe tighten up on our expenses. There's a lot of back and forth in the city, and when the millage was voted down, I think it was just more of a referendum of let's just tighten things up. I think if we had a same millage and a question maybe of public safety, I think that vote may have been a little bit different. So as you guys take on this daunting task of trying to find out where we trim, I think maybe if we could just trim some things and move forward with some confidence that the future is going to be very bright. The outcome of the future, we don't need to be concerned about, because as we do the next right thing, we'll continue to grow and we will continue to prosper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen Harris, Cambridge Boulevard. Yes, the consequences of Headley not passing. I will say again, I don't want to lose anything. But I would like to speak to the Southfield Road project with the boulevard. My understanding is that we do have the money that we would need to contribute to that. I think it's a great opportunity for us to go forward. We have heard about a boulevard and a new way of life along Southfield Road for years and years and years. And it sounds like a wonderful opportunity for us to slow things down, to contribute more to our businesses along Southfield Road, to make things safer and more walkable and rideable for those people on bicycles, so people are not speeding, because the speed limit would have to be lowered. So I am all for the Southfield Road. I am not for losing anything else, though.
Well, Diane Anderson, and there's two issues I wanted to speak to, and one is the Lathrup Village Police Department. Some of you know my family came out here in '46. My ties go back to '51. And the Lathrup Village Police have always played an extraordinarily important part of the community. They weren't just employees, they were part of the community. At one stage, they actually were a part of the community. We had one officer, Chief Telson, right up for the first few decades, and it was a voluntary force. But Lathrup's a much bigger place now, much more complex, and the days when you can have a voluntary police force are long gone. I've had wonderful experiences with the current police. Some of you know my mother's home was stolen through elder abuse, and the loss of the home killed her. She died shortly thereafter. And on that terrible day when we marched out of the house that they'd been in all those years, since 1951 in that house, and it was now 2009, my dad built that house. She raised her family there. And as we left, the Lathrup police could not have been kinder and gentler. It was not their fault. It was a crooked court system. It never went through the courts. And as I was driving home to take my mother back through Lathrup, I was speeding, and I was pulled over, and I was crying my eyes out, as you can well imagine. It was an awful day. And the officer, and I believe it was our new police chief, who was young at the time, basically took one look at me, knew what had happened, and said, "You go on, you've had a bad enough day." That's the kind of love and support that we have had. And recently, he's come to my aid again about something I won't go into, but suffice to say he handled it with privacy, with dignity. I've got nothing but respect. And to give you an idea how revered Lathrup police have been, the plaque that went missing at the beginning of this year wasn't just Bill Beske. It includes the son of our first police chief, the long-term one, Chief Telson. His son also died in Vietnam. And the Beske family were so impressed with Chief Telson that when they made this plaque and had it put up, it wasn't just their beloved son Bill's name on it, it was also Officer Telson's son. I don't know his first name. I can't even remember Officer Telson's first name as well. That I can find in my Lathrup archive stuff. So I'm hoping to find, before I do the final version of the plaque replacement, to get Chief Telson's son up there again as well. And once again, I want to thank Tim. It did take a while to get this taken seriously, but Tim is the one that picked it up. He ran with it. He did all of this background stuff. He got that wonderful, wonderful magazine. I am so filled with admiration. The only thing I've got to tell you, Tim, he didn't graduate Southfield Lathrup High. There was no Southfield Lathrup High. We were the class of 1967, the spring. Southfield Lathrup opened for its first intake in the autumn of 1967. Other than that, perfect.
Thank you.
Autumn Susannis, Rainbow Drive. I just wanted to say that hearing the word consequences, and elections have consequences, like Mayor Cantor said at the last meeting, it does sound retributional. So retaliatory. So these cuts, I just want to be on the record. I hope we don't lose our police. I love our police. I don't want to lose our library. I love our library. And what I understand, I could be wrong, please correct me, but we're facing about a $200,000 shortfall. And to do the study, Giffords-Webster wants about $200,000 to decide whether or not we should, we can do a boulevard plan. If we're short 200, how do we have an extra 200? It doesn't make sense to me. I think the boulevard plan needs to be abandoned at this point, for now, until we figure things out. But I do want to suggest watching the April State of the City address that our former mayor held, and Jill Baum of Giffords-Webster, she did a presentation. You can find this on YouTube. She talks about traffic calming. She talks about the boulevard plan having been abandoned, and that in order to do it, we need to widen the street, which would have put the edges of the street like within 7 feet of the building that our former planner's office was. It was untenable. In order to have like the Michigan turn in the center, it just widened it too much. Also, keep in mind Woodward is a boulevard, and so is Telegraph, and those are straight, and they're meant for speed and cutting through. They're not meant for traffic calming. They're not meant for stopping and shopping. They're not really Lathrup, right? If we ask for Boulevard and we get Woodward, like that's the opposite of what we're all hoping for. That's certainly not going to slow traffic mile per hour, right? Personally, I never drive at the speed limit on Southfield. It's 45 miles an hour. I always find I'm driving 35 miles an hour because I like to think about swinging out and getting a coffee or picking up something for my kids. But the traffic does move at 45 miles an hour, and it is not pedestrian friendly. There's nothing walkable about that strip unless we do things that are smart, like narrowing, losing some lanes, creating some kind of there are city planners who do a beautiful job of this. They can take a straightaway and actually kind of make it so you have to zigzag down the street, because straightaway encourages speeding, and that's what we want to discourage. And I do think it would be great to have greenery in the center. I'm really disappointed that the Hawk Signal down south of 11 Mile is just a weird, dangerous seeming bump in the road. No greenery, no space for greenery. That's all I have to say.
Jonathan Terra. I'll have some remarks at the end of the meeting about a different water main project, but I know that on the agenda you're considering approval of a contractor for the northern water main project, which I believe is at least partially or mostly federally funded. I would love to hear some feedback on the status of that federal grant and as to whether that is still also, if that's a real thing or if that is in jeopardy, as is the state funding for the southern. Am I wrong that it's a federally funded? Yeah, okay. So that's all. I would love to hear a status on the funding, because maybe it's premature to approve a contractor if this may not happen for several years and then things change and you need to redo some things then.
Thank you.
Hello, Leslie Ballion, Rackham. The reason why I came to this meeting in person, I usually watch it from the comfort of my home, is I want to also lend support to our police. I think that they're so important for our community. Everyone has said it so much more eloquently, but they really are a gem. And the fact that they get to know our community and get to know the residents, you know, is such a positive experience. And I want to tell two little anecdotes. When my son first moved to the community, I was out in the front yard playing with his children, with his in-laws, and I don't know his name, but one of the officers stopped his police car and actually came out, wanted to know who we were, introduced himself, and it was just so marvelous. I said, wow, what a wonderful community. And then when I moved into the neighborhood, the city, I was coming home from work. It was in November, very, very dark and rainy, and I was taking a left-hand turn from 12 Mile onto a road, and I ended up in the parking lot of a medical center, and all of a sudden I saw the police car lights come on, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and the policeman said, why are you in the parking lot at 8:30? And I said, oh no, it was so dark, and he actually followed me home. I mean, this is unbelievable, how the kind of respect that they have for the community and the kind of respect that the residents have for the police. And so I just wanted to say how much I hope that that's one area that won't be cut by our cost trimmings. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Darren Sowers. I live on Vlll. I came here today to, hopefully encourage you to not take away the funding for the library. I find libraries to be a center of community, and one thing I think Lathrup Village does lack is young families, and I think libraries are an essential resource that young families can benefit from specifically. I come from a family that benefited deeply from the resources of a library. Not only that, the returns on a library are far more than any dollar amount that we put into it specifically. So I feel bad if I didn't say anything about it now, but that's how I feel about it. Also, I don't resent being in your shoes. So.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment, move on to item 7 in the agenda, which is the consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus the item that we pulled out.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda minus item 7A2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Motion's passed. Now we'll need a motion for item 7A2, which was pulled
Yeah,
out.
so I'll make a motion to approve item 7A2, the meeting minutes from the regular meeting of November 24th, 2025.
With?
I'm making the motion, we're going to second it, and then we'll have discussion, right?
Yep. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Discussion?
So in these meeting minutes, under mayor and council comments, there's a bullet point under council member Hammond comments that says, if we have budget surpluses, it is reasonable to assume that we don't have a revenue problem. They need to be looked at in full context. I looked at the video of the meeting. What I actually said was, if we have budget surpluses, it is uninformed to assume that we don't have a revenue problem. They need to be looked at in full context. So, to point of clarification, I was trying to imply that just because we have budget surpluses does not mean that we don't have a revenue problem.
Anything else? So wouldn't the motion be to have the correction in it, or do we just?
To approve it as corrected.
As corrected, yeah.
So I'll amend my motion to approve as corrected the meeting minutes from the November 24th, 2025 regular meeting of the City Council.
Okay, is there a second on the needed motion? I'll second. Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. The motion's passed. All right, we'll move on to the action requests. The first action request is item 8A. Item 8A, a request to approve the Southfield Road water main contract.
Thank you, Mayor. So I do have Justin and Joe from Giffords Webster here to answer any technical questions for this. But as council is aware, the city was awarded roughly $960,000 from Congresswoman Tlaib in 2024 via the Congressional Directed Spending Grant. So staff and our city engineers have been working our way through the required EPA application process. And it was roughly about a month or two ago that we did get permission to proceed with soliciting bids for this project. So this grant will cover about 80% of the cost of the construction, with the city water fund covering the additional 20% engineering. I'll turn over to Justin and talk about the contractor we're recommending.
Yep. Back in late November, we obtained about 9 bids from qualified contractors in the area. We got very competitive pricing. Low bid came in at just under $1 million at $989,359.77, submitted by DiPonio Contracting out of Shelby Township. We have worked with this contractor on numerous occasions in other communities. They have completed the work successfully, and we recommended to the city to approve the contract at the bid amount that was presented in their bid.
Is there a motion to approve the contract?
Motion, motion to approve or to award DiPonio Contracting LLC the 2026 Southfield Road water main contract for an estimated construction cost of $989,359.77, and to authorize the city administrator to execute all necessary documents.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion?
So I just want to make sure that you're saying that we do have the money.
The EPA's confirmed it. This is a reimbursement grant, so we will spend it, and then we put the request in the EPA to draw the money back.
Okay.
So, yep, as far as, unless Congress decides to change something tomorrow, we're good to go.
Yeah, and I would only add that the schedule for the contract would begin after Memorial Day and anticipated to be completed around the end of July.
So what would be the plan B if they do pull back money?
It's been obligated,
Yeah,
and
it has
it's
been
ready
obligated.
to go. So it's,
Okay.
yeah, it's, I don't think it's a totally different funding source as the northern section, so.
So there's no risk of losing the allocated funds?
Not as long as we start the project on schedule and get it done on schedule. Yeah.
Understood.
I'm sorry, you said Memorial Day to when?
I think per the contract, it was start May 26 is the contract time, with substantial completion by July 26, and then final restoration by August 7th.
Thank you.
Is there, when do you guys start working on like the plan for traffic?
So the traffic plans were included in the bid. So all the traffic control devices that were planned out, we've submitted to the Road Commission for Oakland County for permits. Those permits will get pulled by the contractor once they have a contract with the city to do that work. So it's just one of those things that they'll have in place prior to the pre-construction meeting that we would hold probably in May, early May.
And if I understood from the project plan, it's just the east lane of Southfield Road, correct?
Yeah, yes, I believe so. It's just one single lane closure during the day, and it gets removed at the end of it. Yeah, there's a time restriction that Oakland County put on their permit, so just during the day while they're working, they will have that lane closed. There is a little bit of closure off of Lincoln when they're down where we're making the connection down there, but those are the only closures that are identified in the project.
And how about water interruption?
So there will be some water interruptions as we make the main line will go in. It'll get tested and approved, and then we'll start making connections into the side streets. There will be some shutoffs that go along with that. All of that will be coordinated as those that are affected. The water will be reinstated at the end of every day. Same thing with the few water services along Southfield Road. We'll work with the businesses along the corridor to try to schedule the appropriate time to do that, and they'll turn it off, make the connection, turn it back on, same day.
Can you just really quickly talk about the expected benefit and how we'll know that it was actually?
So I believe I provided Mike some graphics that pressures are going to be drastically improved in the southeast corner of the city by this. It's a large diameter water main designed to distribution-wise to improve the pressures in that area, going along with future projects that are planned out there. That's the goal, is to improve the pressures all the way through that southern area of town.
My only other comment is just, it's hard to have the kind of faith in funds showing up that we had maybe 12 months ago. And we've seen things where money was actually not only distributed, but spent and then clawed back. So it's something that, it's a valid question, something worth keeping in mind.
Any other questions for Justin? Any other discussion? Okay.
Just to be clear, there are no monies from the general fund that are going to be spent on this project,
Nope,
correct?
just purely water fund grant funding.
Thanks.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Oh, yes.
Okay, the motion is passed. We will now move on to
Thank
item B, which is on page 103 of the packet, request to approve the 2026 city council meeting dates and holidays.
I'll make the motion to approve, sorry.
No, go.
The 2026 city council meeting dates and city observed holidays as presented.
Second.
Well, based on study session, you guys talked about moving up to 7 p.m. So
Oh,
if
yeah, I'm
that's the
sorry.
case, please include it in the motion.
So I'll amend the motion to approve the 2026 city council meeting dates and time to, the meeting will start at 7 o'clock and city observe holidays as presented.
Second.
It's motion seconded. Any discussion?
I'm not in favor of the move of the time, the dates, I don't mind, but I just, in my short tenure here, we've needed every minute of the study session that we've had. And in the one case where we finished a little bit early, it was nice to have enough time to go to the bathroom. I feel like if the study sessions are short, that probably means the council meeting will potentially be short as well. So I would prefer to vote on just the dates and then separately vote on changing the time. But that's my just part of the discussion.
Yeah, I'm actually in agreement with that. Any other discussion?
My feeling is that, like we talked about in the study session, there are opportunities to talk about items that, if we need more time than what would be allocated in a 1-hour study session, there are opportunities to bring up those items during the regular meeting, during certain agenda items. I also think, if we try with an earlier start time and we find that we're regularly going over, then we can always make a motion to change the meeting times back to a 7:30 start time. So I would like to see us try it, see how it goes. Maybe it'll help us to be actually more efficient in our study sessions. But if it isn't, then yeah, we can always change it back.
Yeah, because we that's how we got to 7:30 is we
Yeah.
made a mid-year switch.
So the
it's
dates
possible.
can't change, but we could potentially change the time.
Yes, we could change, somebody could make a motion to change the start time of the regular meetings without changing the meeting dates.
I mean, the dates can be changed.
Writing that down right now, but yeah, that, okay.
If adequate notice is given, right, the dates can be changed.
You can change the dates of the meeting, but
Yeah.
generally you want to stick to your schedule that's published.
Right.
All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. Motion's passed. We'll go on to item C, which is on page 104 of the packet. Request to approve a resolution 2025-20, which is a tentative special assessment role for general purposes and to schedule a public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. So at the end of each year, there are delinquent water and sewer, nuisance accounts, and other bills that are compiled by our property owners. This starts the process of moving these delinquent amounts to the 2026 tax roll. So all we're looking for you guys today is approve a tentative roll and set the public hearing date. Naturally, in the motion, the date would have to change to January 26th at 7 p.m. If approved tonight, any affected property will get a mailed notice in the coming weeks, and then naturally follow all public hearing notice requirements.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-20, a tentative special assessment role for general purposes, and set a public hearing for special assessment for January 26, 2026 at 7 p.m.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Did you move it to 7 or is
He
it?
did.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
I tried to be as loud as I could. 7 p.m.
Any discussion? Yeah, the only thing I always say every year we do this, it blows my mind that there's 378,000, but that is the amount that would be collected, once these monies are received. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. All right, the motion's been approved. We'll move on to item E. Item D, which is a request to approve resolution 2025-21, the Southfield Road Improvement Project for preliminary engineering.
Thank you, Mayor. So we did start discussion at our last meeting when we did have representatives from Oakland County Road Commission come out and give a presentation. But essentially, the Boulevard project that's kind of been on the docket for over 20 years does have some legs to potentially move forward. So the Road Commission is asking us and the City of Southfield with their scale back project to approve funding for preliminary engineering. This is not commit funding to potential construction costs in the future, but this is one of the steps they need in order to try to secure funding in the future for this large, massive infrastructure project.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-21, supporting the preliminary engineering, PE, phase commitment for the Southfield Road Improvement Project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was underwhelmed by the Road Commission's presentation. Mayor Pro Tem Garrett, asked about speed reduction. They had no commitment to reducing speed. There's going to be a big impact on the right-of-ways. It's going to go into the businesses. At that meeting in April, Giffords Webster referred to it almost as if it was an abandoned project, and that that the city had decided to ask the Road Commission to stop pursuing it. The other thing about this, a couple other things that I took away from that meeting. One, this phase doesn't guarantee that the next phase would go through. The next phase would only come up to almost to 11 Mile, and then we would have to go through this whole thing to get more of it completed. I asked for an example of a boulevard that had the kind of impact that we were talking about, in terms of slowing business down, getting vehicles into the. They didn't come up with any that were analogous. I think looking at Royal Oak and Woodward, looking at Telegraph is what we're more likely to be seeing, is cars just speeding more because they don't have to worry about oncoming traffic. The other thing that I took away from that was that I think it's called the tri-party funds that would pay for this step are actually available to us for other projects. Not everything, but potentially other projects. And given the fact that we're facing these, budget deficit, getting rid of any funds for a long-term bet right now, to me, seems foolhardy, and I just don't think, I don't support it. So that's my 2 cents.
If I may, Mayor, I'll just clarify tri-party funding. So the point of this resolution would to be used tri-party funds to cover our entire portion. So the general fund or major road fund would not cut a check at all. Tri-party funds can only be used on roads that are overseen by Oakland County, which is Southfield Road and 12 Mile. Southfield Road, as everyone knows, recently got repaved, so we have no use for these funds for that road in the foreseeable future. And 12 Mile is in relatively good shape, and there's no oncoming projects for that. So if we do not use these funds for this project, they will just sit in an account at the county and just keep collecting funds for another decade or so until Southfield Road eventually has to be resurfaced again.
Well, and I'm sure we'll be glad to have those funds at that time.
But so once we take the funds out, we'll still start recouping.
Yep,
they'll add the money back in.
Correct. We accrue about $40,000 every single year.
Yeah, so you clarified for us what the money could be used on, other projects that it potentially could be used on. It's very limited, right? But we haven't been spending this money, correct? Like, when was the last time we actually did a disbursement from this fund?
Last year.
Yeah, last year when it was
Yeah.
just repaid. Before that, it was 2019 for a small project at the intersection of Southfield Road and 11 Mile. Then before that, it wasn't until before 2011.
Yeah.
So it's very sparse because of the limited amount of roads that they can be used on.
But things come up, and then we need the money to actually invest in that. So I guess I'm clear on that. There aren't any other projects that we won't be able to do if we approve spending this money on this preliminary engineering project. But just like Council Member Susanna said, there's no guarantee that even if we do this, that it'll go towards a actual executable project, right? It's still kind of we spend this money on preliminary engineering, maybe the project doesn't happen at all, so it's a little bit of a risk, a bet. Also, let's say that the preliminary engineering goes through, the project gets approved, then we have to come up with $3 million to fund our part of the project. And where's that money gonna come from? Like, have we yet identified where we would source that money from if we actually have to execute the project that this preliminary engineering plan is designed to address?
Yeah, that construction cost is going to be an issue for us, Southfield, and the county. That's why to get outside funding, they need preliminary engineering done. So it is a risk. It is one of those things, but naturally, if it's not approved, kills the project instantly. If it is approved, there's at least potential.
Yeah.
So my struggle,
I'm
sorry.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
One last thing, because I agree with John on this as well. Like if the proposed project was more focused on creating opportunities for reducing traffic speeds in Lathrup Village, I'd be more inclined to support it. I'm having a hard time supporting a preliminary engineering effort that seems to already be targeted on trying to flow traffic through the Southfield Road corridor as quickly as possible.
Didn't we, when we asked about would they slow the speed down, they said, what did they say?
The road commission defaults to Michigan State Police for
Right.
traffic speeds.
So we still wouldn't know what the speed would be.
But I feel like if you design a project, for example, that has chicanes, like was discussed during public comment, or traffic circles, well, then this project is intentionally trying to improve traffic flow by also reducing speeds. But the project, at least as I've read it, doesn't seem to account for that. It's just trying to control the number of lanes of traffic and create a median in a boulevard.
But one of the things we've heard all along is that it was designed to control the speed. So, I mean, that was a little bit of a surprise to me at the meeting that we had with the road commission. I mean, you, Kelly, you've been here 12 years, and the whole time, every time it's been brought up, hasn't that been like one of the major benefits that we've talked about? So,
Yes.
yeah.
But it's also not adding lanes from what they said last time. It wasn't adding lanes, and so, I mean, I recall that they were not, I mean, we talked about slowing down the traffic, but then it was also that start, stop, start, stop. So you get off the freeway going 105 miles per hour, you get to Southfield, you're slowing it down to 55 miles per hour, then it's slam on the brakes in Lathrop at, I think it was like 30 or something like that, then you gain your speed. So that's why I think that it's changed, because, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Lathrop has always been the holdup for it, because that is the reason we didn't move forward, because we did want to slow it down.
Right. That's what Jill was referring to.
We have consistently been the linchpin in this project of trying to slow traffic, trying to calm it down. I referenced it during the last study session. We brought in experts, Dan Brunden, to talk about traffic calming and slowing down the speed. My interpretation is their objective has always been to move traffic through as quickly as possible. While they did commit to a redesign in attempts to appease the city by putting, if you recall, like the original ones didn't have there might have only been one turnaround like north of 696 and maybe none south of it. Like we were an afterthought in their original design.
The turnabouts were in Southfield.
Yeah, we pushed to get more to try to slow the traffic down. That's definitely been the city's position throughout this entire process, but I agree with other comments that I don't know that necessarily aligns with the objectives of the county.
And I have one more question too. So they came to our meeting 2 weeks ago for the first time to say something, to give us a deadline of today, basically.
Yep.
And so if we don't agree to this, then are they gonna be extending the deadline, or is it just dead in the water?
Based on the conversation with them, most likely this will kill the project. Because of the funding cycles, they would, if anything, wait till next year and hope the funding programs they want to apply for are still there.
Well, that's what I'm struggling with is so the response that we got when we asked the question after the last meeting about why this has to be done by January 6th, it seemed like the response back was more so that it was a pain in the butt for them, because they're going to have to retool their projects and their requests for the tip and for the meetings for the FAC, as opposed to it being something that's like a hard and fast project kill. I mean, it seems like if we so to step it back a little bit further, part of my struggle with this is the fact that we've got the master planning process going on. And what if the master plan comes out with something completely different from what we have now? And then these projects don't, the master plan and the project doesn't jive. So I mean, I guess I wonder whether it's really the case of whether this kills the project or whether or not it just causes them to do a reshuffling, and then whether or not we could then pick it up in a year later, once we have the knowledge of the master plan.
I can imagine a world where they just push this project completely to the side and start to focus on some other project and prioritize that, and then don't even focus on Southfield Road
I mean, I
project.
felt they characterized the situation as we would lose the opportunity to get it started next year. But that, to your point, they could start it all over again in a future date, which, you know, again, just based on that presentation and only in April, it seemed like the original appetite for the boulevard, which was based on some of the ideas that you mentioned, in a master plan session a long time ago, don't, to your point, align with what they want to get out of that. And so I think over time, you know, the businesses looked at it. That was what she was talking about. Jill was talking about how the businesses, once they looked at the details, did not have an appetite for it. So I don't know why, if that's all true, and I agree we have to find out in the master planning, but if that's all true, why do we care if they can start it up in 3 years if we don't want it in the first place? So, I don't.
I support that as well. I feel tying this decision to an activity that happens before the new master plan is ratified doesn't feel right to me.
One last thing too, also, do we know, did Southfield, because both Southfield and Lathrup had to pass it in order for it to, either one of them nixing it would kill it. Do we know?
I've not
what
heard
their
from the
intent
Southfield
was?
engineer. I know it was upcoming on one of their future council meetings. I don't know if it's the one today or if it's the one right before.
I have a point about this too, because in the notes it was mentioned that like they intend to have the same meeting they had with us last time, 2 weeks ago, with Southfield in early January. But then they have this January 6th deadline. It just didn't make any sense to me. How are they going to have this meeting with Southfield and then be able to take action on it in time for a
I wonder
January 6th
if they
deadline?
misspoke, because they were pretty clear about getting both the votes done by January 6th.
That's what I
So
heard.
It's probably
Yeah.
because if we don't do it, then there's no point in talking to Southfield.
maybe.
So that's why they probably did ours first. But
They probably should have talked to Southfield.
you probably
first.
should have talked to
What's that?
Southfield first.
I said they probably should have talked to Southfield first. I mean,
Concur.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Suzanis,
No.
Councilmember Jennings,
no.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
No.
Mayor Cantor,
No.
Councilmember Hammond.
No.
All right, the motion is defeated. We'll move on to item E in the agenda, which is on page 132 of your packet. Request to adopt ordinance 2025-10, an ordinance to allow, or to, an ordinance to amend Article 18 business by adding a new article, Article 8, outdoor collection boxes, to provide for the licensing and regulation of outdoor collection boxes.
Yeah, I can address this. This is the second reading of the proposed ordinance to regulate outdoor collection boxes. This was, again, was a request made by council. Currently, we don't have any regulation standards or restrictions on where outdoor collection boxes can be placed, who's responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of them. There was one slight change. I don't know if that made it into this version. Okay. So this version reads as what was presented last month, but there was one change with respect to the emptying of the collection bins. It was previously that they were to be changed every 7 days, but we were going to remove that 7-day requirement and make it to the discretion of the code enforcement officer. So other than that, as I said, there were no changes. This ordinance does require permits for outdoor collection boxes. It precludes the placement of any outdoor collection bins on residential lots or vacant commercial lots. It does require the owner of the property to agree if they are not the owner of the collection bin that's to be placed there. There are limitation between the proximity in which these outdoor collection bins can be placed to one another. And then there's specific requirements for site location, construction standards for how big they can be, what they have to be placed on, and then setbacks to prohibit conflict with traffic patterns in the parking lots.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-10, an ordinance to amend Article 18, business, by adding a new article, Article 8, outdoor collection boxes, to provide for the licensing and regulation of outdoor collection boxes.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any questions?
So,
Or any
How do we
discussion?
know, so will he just decide if he wants to know if they're gonna be changed every 30 days, or how does he decide the number?
I think, my notes I had that it was going to be that they were going to look to make sure they weren't like overflowing. It wasn't, because it was, I think it was the mayor that brought up the potential issue similar to vehicles parked in one spot for, unless you're going to be going out and marking the bins, how do you know that they've been emptied, or, it's really, the issue is if they're overflowing and become a nuisance, then that's when they need to be addressed. So we had discussed like having some sort of a requirement as part of the permitting process or in the application that they have. I think we referenced like Porter Johns, where they have to sign off and put that they were emptied. So, but rather than have a weekly requirement, we'll leave it to the discretion of the code officer.
I like leaving it to the discretion of the code enforcement officer. He's going to have eyes on these things and looking for these markings and all that kind of stuff. But I do think it's a good idea for us to include language that has like a minimum period by which they have to, at least like once a month, somebody should be looking at these things to make sure that they are emptied. If somebody's
agree.
waiting for like 3 months or 6 months before they empty these things, not only is it potentially going to overflow, but like what if somebody throws garbage in there? And then what if that draws rodents or something like that? I know these things generally like are not easily accessible, but we know rodents can get into anything. Anyway, I just...
contraband, or, I mean, it's like this black box in the
Could be
middle of
anything.
the city.
Yeah, could be anything. So at least monthly, I think it should be reviewed.
So does the motion have to be I can't talk all of a sudden. Does the motion have to be amended to include that, or is it?
No, it was
part of the regulation?
approved as amended, so we can, I can make those changes and get them.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but can they put it in parking spots, and have we looked at whether or not that would reduce if somebody put one in a parking spot, would that potentially reduce
It can't.
the available parking?
Yeah, it would definitely reduce the available parking, but if there is one place that they can't put them below their minimum required threshold for parking spaces. So if they're approved and they're required to have 10 spots and they put a bin in and then they only have 9, well, they can't put the bin in.
Yeah.
So as part of the permitting process,
Yeah.
they have applied for the permit, that would require a review by the code enforcement officer. They'll determine if they're still in compliance with their parking requirements. If they're
Correct.
not, the application gets rejected.
And that's why we also added the components that require the property owner's consent for this, because oftentimes these were placed without the owner's knowledge or consent, and so then they were in a situation where they were under their minimum required parking spaces, and then they also had oftentimes have no idea who put them there.
Right.
And no way to get them removed, so.
Yep.
This hopefully will address all those scenarios.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. We will move on to item F in the agenda, which is on page 141 of your packet. Request to approve the DPS building gutter replacement.
Thank you, Mayor. So we actually did approve a contractor last month, but as I made council aware, that contractor supervisor came out the week when they were looking to do the project, and he realized they are unable to perform the task. So we reached out to the 2 other lowest bidders to come back out and do another site inspection, and our second lowest bidder, Great Lakes Gutter, does have the capacity to take on this project, and then they said they can do it. They just need to wait for warmer weather for safety reasons. But with that, we're looking for you guys to approve Great Lakes Gutters as the new contractor for this project.
Take a motion.
Motion to award the DPS building gutter replacement project to Great Lakes Gutter for the estimated cost of $9,984.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
So this is still at $9,984 below the budgeted amount.
The budget amount was $10,000, so they fit right under that.
They didn't want to match the other contract.
Nope. This matched their original bid, so we're gonna change it.
So I'm just curious, because I mean, the whole issue with leaf filter was the fact that gutters were physically part of the roof, so what is this vendor able to do?
Apparently Great Lakes Gutters has worked on these type of projects before, the pre-1970s buildings, so they know what they're doing, versus Leaf Filter, they didn't know essentially how to retrofit that. So that's the biggest problem with that old building. Essentially, the gutters are built into the roof, and they don't know how to work around that.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yeah.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is item G on page 143 of your packet. Request to approve the solicitation for quotes for the Lathrup Village Police Department services.
Thank you, Mayor. So following the recent discussions regarding the city's fiscal sustainability and operational capacity, including the failed heavily override, it's become necessary to explore alternatives for the city and the services we offer. I know we had a lot of positive feedback today, and I'm feeling council may want to table this. So that is as a choice. My only concern is timing, naturally. Throughout the budget process, if you guys decide to wait essentially until the end of January to approve us exploring this, and then the costs come back so well where you have to entertain it, I'm now pushing the limits to letting the department know that they have to find new jobs. So if we are going to explore this, I would like approval now, or just say no. So it's up to the council.
I'd like to make the recommended motion to not approve the solicitation of quotes for Lathrup Village Police Department services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
So I agree that now is not the time to do this, but I do think we need to continue to have a discussion of exploring what options are available. Like solicitation of quotes for contracting from other cities is not popular, but we don't have any idea what that would cost. We might find out, not like you were describing, like that it's so low we have to entertain it. We might find out that it's so high that it doesn't make a difference in the budget. Not likely, but it's possible. But I feel like the more information we have, the better informed we are. So I don't think now is the right time to actually look at this, and I definitely agree with everybody who spoke tonight that looking at outsourcing public safety is not the right thing for the city. But I think we have to figure out some way to understand what the economic impact of a decision like that might look like so we can make an informed decision.
Well, for me, as a resident first, and then a council person second, it's not an option not to have. It's not an option not to have the police force that we have, and I think that there are some options that we're not exploring to make up for some money. Unfortunately, yes, we have the library on the one of the something that we could cut. But let's just be honest, at least for me, and it might not be popular, I would take the police department every time over having them funds being spent for a library, especially when there was an option to go to, was it Ferndale for $100?
Ferndale for
$100. That's one option, go to Ferndale for $100. But then the other option is still you can put a millage for the library on the ballot, and then you'll know for sure whether or not the residents want us to entertain the police department. And I think that that's the step you go to first before soliciting. You just promoted people. You had their families in here. And then once you clear out, you're gonna say, now we're gonna put it on the board that we might, we're thinking about outsourcing. I don't think that the optics are good, and it's just something that I think that small families, new families, would probably prefer a police force over a library. And I'm not trying to say that you aren't right with that, but it is just, I just could not imagine living in this city and just like what everybody else says, driving, seeing them waving, getting help when you need it, things like that. I couldn't imagine it. And so it's not something I don't think we should even entertain. We're not at, I don't believe we're at dire straits like that when we haven't done everything else we can.
Yeah. I mean, my first inclination is to say, well, information is information, and why not get the information? But I think it's a little bit like saying, well, why not fund this next thing of the road and just see what happens? If we really know that we don't want that road, then we don't need to pursue it. I think we really know that we don't want to get rid of the police force. You know, there's other, and the danger with the information is that then you're talking about dollars only, right? You're not talking about all the other impacts. So, you know, I don't fear the information. I don't think we would act on it even if we had it. The other thing is we do have even more options than you even suggested, Mayor, and I know that we are sort of maybe disinclined to entertain all of them, but, you know, there are ways to fund police that we've done in the past and may be forced to do in the future, and that's an option as well. I'm not saying that we're going to do that. I'm just saying, like, it's pretty clear that the community wants the police force, and I think we have options. It may not be, you know, the library or the thing. It may be other things. And then the other part of that is certainly the timing is terrible. I understand what you're saying, Mike, but, you know, I think that the chance of you having to go and tell them that they're all fired is pretty small, and I'd rather risk that than to you know, hurt, you know, and we talked about, you know, maybe interviewing too many people, and I didn't agree with it, but might hurt morale. This will hurt morale, you know. And so, anyway. So I wouldn't mind voting on this right now, actually, because...
No, the motion on the floor is to not.
Oh, I didn't know if you could, because we initially went into this conversation about...
But the motion that was made was
can make
to
a
not.
motion however you
All right, well,
see
then
fit, yeah.
yeah, and it's been said, I'm done talking.
Yeah. My struggle is obviously I do not want to get rid of the police station, the police at all. I enjoy the community policing. I've given many examples throughout the town halls that I've done before. But then I also, on the other hand, tend to be very objective, and I feel like there's some due diligence to be done there to actually know what those numbers are, because you know I feel like there's on one hand there's not a conversation to be had because I feel strongly for the police, but on the other hand, if that number comes back incredibly low, then we don't have that information to weigh against all the other things, and I agree with you that I would much rather get rid of the library. I don't want to get rid of the library either, but I'd much rather get rid of the library than the police. So
are you saying that if we go out for solicitation, I want to make sure I heard this really clear. You go out for solicitation and the price comes back very low. You're saying then we would consider it?
I would say that there's probably, again, I don't know that I would be for it, but there's at least a conversation to be had. I mean, I just think being objective, you need to have all the information on the table. But again, like I said, I'm struggling with that because, as John said, it's, you know, if there's very little chance that we would ever outsource the police, then why go down that road? So
it reminds me of the movie Indecent Proposal. You know, you put yourself in that situation, and all of a sudden you find yourself doing things that you would never have dreamed of doing, and because the money. You know, and I think the sentiment seems to be, well, we would never do that. We might find other ways to fund it.
Yeah. It might
I'm gonna. That's hilarious. First of all, but I'm also. Let's go off your analogy of a decent proposal. I wouldn't even entertain it.
Right.
I wouldn't even want to hear about it. I
Right.
wouldn't even want to do it.
Right.
And so I think that. I mean, I was just thinking to give my own analogy. Is that I don't look at other jobs that are in my category, because if I see that they're gonna pay me more, I might jump ship, you know, and I enjoy my job, and so it's kind of like, I don't wanna know, you know, and then it is about the dollar, and I don't think that we cannot put a value on the fact is that if you call for anything, they are at your door. If you put a code in by mistake and you're outside in your robe, they will come. So I'm saying that is not something that, there's no dollar figure for it. It's just none. And I did talk to some Southfield police officers, and I was not thrilled in what their responses was and when I lost my dog and what they would not do. I'm just not.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
and to go
think-
back, I mean,
No
my stereotypical example is what they did do for my dog.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Which Southfield would never do. So.
Yeah, if we open our eyes to the other possible numbers, I think people might be swayed to make a choice that we shouldn't make in the first place. So I think we shouldn't even open our eyes to
We had the blind.
the option.
I liked what Mayor Pro Tem said about, like, there are other things that we haven't looked at yet, that relative both to revenue generation and budget cutting, that we need to wrap our arms around before we start. This would be like the, you know,
Nuclear.
letter Z in the list of things that you should consider doing. It's the nuclear option. That's a good way to describe it. So now it's just not the time.
Are we ready to
We
make a
beat that
vote?
horse.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond?
Wait, can you restate
Yeah, I was
the,
gonna say,
since
please
we're
make
in
sure
we're in a double
you said-
negative situation,
yeah,
can you
make
restate
sure.
the motion so everybody votes appropriately?
My motion was to not approve the solicitation of quotes for the Lathrup Village Police Department services.
Second.
And he's
No.
like, no, yeah.
Yeah, I
Repeating the
second
motion,
it.
yeah.
I just
So roll
want-
call, please.
Okay, Councilmember Hammond?
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett?
Yes.
Mayor Cantor?
Good for you, yes. Okay, the motion passes but fails. Yeah. Okay, so that was G. So item H, which is was a tabled item to request to approve the cancellation of the library contract between the city of Lathrup Village and the city of Southfield. Is there a motion to
Mr.
pull this
Mayor,
off the table?
Mr. Mayor, I would just leave it on the table.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
There's no.
No,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So yeah,
Moving on
roll
down.
call, please. Oh, there's any
There's no vote.
for it?
If there's
No
if
vote,
there's
yeah,
no
okay.
motion to
Yep.
take it off the table, there's no need to act on it.
All right, so we'll go on to item I, which is on page 150 of your packet, a request to approve city council board and committee liaison appointments. So, let me get to that here. Yeah, we really should take these one at a time.
Yeah, so let's take them in the order that they're on here. So I will make a motion to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Garrett to the DDA as an alternate.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I thought that was automatic. You have to,
I don't think the alternate was automatic. I think the
no,
appointment.
that's, the DDA is, that was already rewritten. That was automatic, you know, like a part of it where it says the mayor is the DDA liaison, and then we amended it to say the mayor pro tem was the alternate.
I thought we just did it during the committee assignments last time to put me as the alternate.
We changed
I
it.
think, yeah, I don't know that,
We changed it.
I don't know the answer to that, I'm sorry.
Well, can we do it that way? We have it if necessary, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend appointing someone as I mean, the liaison is part of it, that the mayor is the liaison.
Right,
yeah.
but the reason why I know we changed it is because then there would have been an option to have someone else as the liaison, and that's not an option. It was the mayor and then mayor pro tem.
Yeah, I
So
just- I
maybe
don't-
start
yeah.
at the bottom,
Would this be
maybe?
in the bylaws?
Or I was gonna say, why don't we just, it's not gonna
I'll look
affect
and see
the
if
first
it's-
meeting,
yeah.
so why don't we just not do this one and then we can
I'm
research it
saying
and
it
come
would
back?
just be redundant, it wouldn't hurt it if you did it.
Okay.
Because you're not changing from what, if that was what the procedure was changed to, but I will look and see if I can find the answer to
Okay,
that.
so I'll rescind my motion. So I will make a motion to
Should just do it.
appoint Jason Hammond to the Planning Commission.
You cannot appoint yourself.
I don't think you,
You can vote for yourself for mayor?
Yeah.
I can make a motion to appoint
Not for
myself.
the,
to the
yeah, you can vote for
Yeah.
yourself with motions you're not supposed to, okay.
Unless somebody else wants to make the motion.
I'd make the motion for you, but I didn't know you were skipping
Go
down
for
there. I'll make the motion to appoint Jason Hammond to the planning commission.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Councilmember, I'm sorry, Hammond,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes?
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Okay.
I make the motion, we want to keep just going to make the motion to appoint Mayor Cantor to the Parks and Recs Committee.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Motion to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Garrett to the Tree Committee.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
I like to make the motion to appoint Jennings, Councilman Jalen Jennings to the Election Commission.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to appoint Councilman Jalen Jennings as the Southfield School Board Liaison.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Okay, it's passed.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Garrett as the Lathrup Village Chamber of Commerce liaison.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
One second, all right. Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings.
Yes.
Okay, that's passed.
I'll make the motion to appoint Councilman John Suzanis to the Communication Inclusion Committee.
With Jason as the advisor.
With,
Well, that's,
it's,
isn't it?
What's
Oh,
that?
you can do that all in one thing.
Good.
Okay.
with Councilman Jason Hammond as the second
Committee
advisor,
advisor.
committee advisor.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Can we do that if there's not a committee? I mean, do we need to create the committee?
You should create the committee.
Yes.
Should we
you
create the
should.
committee first?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's,
I will rescind my.
Sorry.
yeah, good point, good
motion.
point.
Amend my motion. I'll amend the motion to appoint Councilman John Suzanis to the Communications Inclusion Committee.
Well, no, wasn't the issue to create, a motion to create the committee?
Motion to
first?
create the committee first.
All right,
But he would still be the lead of it.
The two-step process, you're saying a motion to create the committee and then a motion to appoint
I mean, you could make,
a liaison.
that would be the cleaner way to do it.
Can we do that even though it wasn't on the agenda to establish the committee? Do we need to amend the agenda to?
You should probably amend the agenda to reflect that you're
Working our way
creating committee,
backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to amend the agenda?
I move to amend the agenda to include the creation, possible creation of a communications committee.
Is there a second?
Yes. Let me second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
All right. Councilmember Suzanis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett?
Yes.
Mayor Cantor?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond?
Yes,
Yes. Okay, do I have a motion to create the committee?
we just did that.
Well, no, we didn't
Yeah.
change it, that
We
was the
added to
agenda.
the-
Oh, that was the agenda
That was the
change.
agenda.
I'll make the
Right.
motion to form the committee.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
This is gonna be fun, fixing these minutes. Okay. Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, do we have a motion to appoint the liaison and advisor?
Yes. I move to appoint a liaison and an advisor.
Well, no, the specific liaison.
Oh, I can't do, we already learned that I
I'll make
shouldn't
the
do that,
motion
so.
to appoint Councilman John Suzanis to the Communications Inclusion Committee.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Yes.
Motion to appoint Councilmember Hammond as the SIMCOG delegate and Councilmember Suzanis as alternate.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. All right, those have all been,
Do we need a motion
Oh, yeah.
to appoint an advisor to the Communications Committee?
do we need a motion to, probably should have one. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to make Councilman Hammond advisor to the newly formed Communications Committee.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We'll move on to item J.
Scott,
page-
did you see something?
Yeah, just to go back, I don't see any in the amendments to the DDA ordinance, as well as the most recent version of the bylaws, I don't see anything that automatically designates the mayor pro tem as the alternate.
And you haven't seen it, it's not in the minutes, I could swore that that's what we did by the bylaws, and.
No, I looked up the bylaws, the DDA, those were amended in 2019, and the recent amendments last year to the DDA, they did not make those changes, so.
So technically, anybody can be the alternate.
Well, it's the mayor or their designee.
Okay.
But yeah, technically, anybody could be the alternate.
Okay.
Then I will make a motion to appoint Mayor Pro Tem Garrett as the alternate liaison to the DDA.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. We'll move on to item J, which is request to appoint a Parks and Rec committee member. I'm going to recommend Lassie Pearson. She's got a great resume with a lot of background in education and working with children, which would be great to have on the committee. This looks like she'd be a good committee member.
Motion to appoint Lassie Pearson to the Parks and Recreation Committee for a term expiring December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. Motion passes. And you'll contact her, obviously. Thank you. Item K on the agenda, this was what we added to the agenda, the option to record study sessions.
Yeah, so I'll introduce this since I amended the agenda to include this item. So we've been discussing for some time in study sessions the notion of finding some way to record study sessions so that they can be accessed by people who are unable to attend the study sessions in person or would like to review them at some point after the meeting actually occurring. Clearly, we want to have some way to do this in the most cost-effective way. And we talked about options for what the various options for doing recording of study sessions would be, ranging from several $100s to about $6,500 a year. So this item would be a motion to authorize the city administrator to spend budget on acquiring equipment and implement procedures for recording study sessions.
I would like an amendment to that, to have a dollar figure of what's the most that he can spend.
I haven't made the motion
Yeah.
yet, but so certainly we can discuss that.
Can you make a motion?
So I will make a motion to authorize the city administrator to spend no more than $400 on equipment to record study sessions and to establish a procedure for the recording and publication of study sessions.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, it hasn't been seconded.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
So I made this motion in the interest of transparency. Well, you know, it's not like, we are getting some interest from some residents to have access to study sessions outside of actually being physically at the study session. I know we have talked about during our most recent study session earlier tonight that historically the city hasn't recorded study sessions. But I guess my feeling and why I made this motion is that in the interest of what has been going on in the city for several years now, and a desire to increase accessibility, and especially given the context of, we just established a communications committee, which part of its edict is to improve accessibility and inclusion of access to information from the city. Even understanding that we are under budget constraints right now, I feel like this is something that we can do to improve communication with residents and business owners in the city.
Do we have a time limit on when it needs to be uploaded to YouTube?
That would be part of the procedures that I would,
Yeah,
the
that'd be
motion asked the
something,
city manager.
that'd be something I have to work through with Jim realistically the next day or two. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes?
Councilmember Jennings,
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes, motion passes. So now we will go on to the city administrator report. Anything?
Nothing today, Mayor.
City attorney.
I'm just wishing everybody happy holidays.
So boards and commissions, planning commission?
The Planning Commission is meeting tomorrow at 7 PM in this room, so December 16th. The only action item is a review of the master plan update. So this is a analysis review of SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and, help me out here.
Threats.
Threats.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Based on the information that was gathered from participants in our initial master plan kickoff meeting. So Giffords Webster will be in the meeting tomorrow to present the results of their analysis of the information they gathered during the master plan kickoff meeting relative to a SWOT analysis.
My only question is that, do you think this room is going to be big enough?
We'll play it by ear for the first one.
We'll have the
Yep.
overflow if we need it. Okay. DDA?
That was you.
Was I at the last one?
You should be.
They don't meet until Friday. You haven't had a meeting since.
Yeah, okay, we haven't since the last time. I was going to say. Southfield Public Schools?
No report. They canceled their legislative update because of inclement weather. So once I get an update on the new meeting, I'll make sure I attend and bring back the report.
Okay, so for rec, had a great Winterfest last week. Very good turnout. A lot of fun. Also had an ornament making class. There is a wreath making class, December 17th. It's limited to 25 people, so if you're interested, please sign up. Our own Ed Blondin is going to do a class on making wreaths. He just did this in Southfield. It was a big hit there. It is $40 to cover the cost of the materials, but that's probably half the price of what you're going to pay for a wreath in the store. The other thing to mention, the Recreation Committee does have an interest in taking over the community garden and the children's garden, which both of those current boards have resigned. So that's something that they're going to pursue and see if that's something that they can take on. And then also this Thursday, I was just told on the way in here, there's a gift wrapping event at 5 p.m. Proceeds go to charity. There will be food and beverage served as part of that. Unfinished new business. Okay. All right, so now we'll move into public comment. This is public comment for any item. Again, limited to three minutes. It's not a back and forth discussion. You make your comments and then council can respond during council comments.
Sorry. Ian Ferguson, Lathrup Boulevard. Just observation, just three things here. Observation on the the road commission. So typically, and they did that when I was on council, typically when they have something else going on with another city, they try to force us to make a decision, which is what they tried to do with you all. So now that this is a moot point, then maybe the mayor can now start to communicate with the mayor of Southfield and the mayor of Beverly Hills, because prior to me leaving council, we actually had appetite to try to partner with those cities to try to pool funding in order to do the entire corridor. So maybe you should have those conversations with them now, and then maybe in 2027, when it comes up, then we might be ready. And really, we should take notes and say, hey, this is what we discussed, here are the bullet points. These are potential actions we can take in 27, 28, whatever. Find out what the funding is, and then go from there. I need an update on the lead piping as far as the replacement of lead pipe. We don't know what that update is. Are we all done? Do we have another side of, or a corridor or a quadrant of Lathrup that needs to be completed by the summer of '26? Children's Garden. To individuals that's listening to the sound of my voice and video, that entire board of the Children's Garden has retired. Their kids have grown up through the Children's Garden, mine included, and they're just tired. So if you have a young kid, ages 3 to 8, please consider becoming a member. Please consider becoming a board member of this Children's Garden, because it's ultimately going to die. No one's going to do cleanup at the Children's Garden because there is no board to organize that. And the city is not paying for those cleanups. That money is really being channeled through the Children's Garden. So please consider that, or else it's just going to end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan Terra. First of all, I want to congratulate council on making a couple of quick decisions and definitive decisions tonight. And one of them that I think is very important to all of us is thank you for keeping Lathrup Village Mayberry. and thank you, Sheriff Taylor. The other thing, for those of you who weren't in the study session, I've left copies of an article from Crane's Detroit Business in the lobby here. I'm going to read a little bit from an article from Bridge, Michigan. And I got the two water main projects mixed up at the beginning of the session here. So it sounds like our southernmost section of pipeline is, we seem to have the federal funding and go like hell and get it done. But the other section, which is from 11 Mile to 12 Mile, I'm going to read from Bridge, Michigan. Michigan House cancels $645 million in state spending without Senate okay. House Republicans cut $645 million in state funding from ongoing projects in a rare move. GOP legislative leaders said the cuts were to combat government waste and force Democrats to negotiate. So there's still some things going on, but I think the Bridge, Michigan article has a little more about how they pulled this off. And you can pick these up in the lobby also from Crane's, which is paywalled, so pick it up if you want to read it. I just want to reiterate, for those of you who didn't hear that. So, I hope we're going to keep on top of the funding, the state funding, and let's not spend money, in preparation of something that may not happen, okay? The other thing is, go patronize our local businesses that are nearby, maybe Home Depot, maybe Ace Hardware. Get you one of these, they're $5 to $10. I'd really like to know what people's water pressure is. It's generally recommended that it be at least 40 PSI. Mine is exactly 40 PSI. And there are some negatives for, going below that. I think it would help council to know, maybe there are some local mitigations that can be done. So, you know, here's a little participative democracy.
Thank you, Jonathan.
William Whitehouse, Saratoga. Councilman John, you were talking about roads or the way to, with the road to, how can we slow down the traffic? I think a good drive down, you know, Livernois, south of 8 Mile, the Fashion Mile, and look at how they transform that space would be a great idea because, you know, they narrowed it down, it's 2 lanes, they put in parking, and it's controls the speed very well. So maybe that's the line in the sand to draw. Like if you guys want to keep coming back to us to move forward with this project, this is how we want it to look.
Well, I just want to reiterate what I said at the Studies Council session about libraries. All libraries are not created equal. And the top libraries create community amenity, and that increases property values. To be useful, libraries have to be close for families. And that means Southfield, Berkeley, Baldwin, Oak Park, and Royal Oak. And of those libraries, Southfield is the Cadillac by far. It's a myth, and it's an elitist myth, that everybody has access to home Wi-Fi, everybody has access to a computer, that everybody's computer literate. I'm Exhibit A as to why that one's not true. Southfield Library has somewhere between 120 and 200 computers. The closest one after that is Royal Oak, and I think they've got 22. Baldwin, Birmingham, has got 8. And the Southfield Library gives you 7 hours on computer, the others give you 2. So that's something to think about. It's also important that there's a large number of books. And once again, Southfield Library is so far ahead of the others. I passed out a sheet to the council members, and if anybody wants a copy, I've got some more. Southfield has somewhere between 250 and 280,000 books. That is between 130 to 160,000 more books than Birmingham, which has 120,000. And that's important because as an educator, I can tell you there are studies from Australia, Europe, and North America that make it absolutely clear that we learn better from hard copy. We remember better from hard copy than we do from online stuff on the screen. Southfield, because it's big, can keep its books. As I pointed out before, this wonderful book about African American history was thrown in the garbage at Baldwin. It's now in my library. It's currently available tomorrow if you want to get it at Southfield Library. It's part of their permanent collection. And they can do that because they have the space. They also have a permanent room. I don't know if they call it rare books or not, but they go out and those books will be there for good. Some of my collection from my very extensive African American history collection and my extensive Michigan history collection have been solicited, and they're going to be a permanent part of that library. You won't find that at Baldwin. You won't find that at the other ones because they're too little. You can be penny wise and pound foolish. And I would put to you that you would be very, very foolish if you were to give up access to the best library in the region. It is better, even in my opinion, than the Bloomfield Township Library, which I use. And one of the things you have to ask yourself, if you're not someone that goes to the library 2-3 times a week, if you haven't sampled those other libraries, then you need to do so before you make an opinion. Because I can tell you the Southfield Library is really, really well used. Other libraries are as well. But because of the Southfield size, they can do things nobody else can do. And with that, I would simply remind you, kids will remember those experiences.
Thank you.
Hi, Leslie Ballion from Rackham. I have 2 questions. Actually, one question is the Guffel Lister, I can't pronounce it right. Thank you. What they're going to present tomorrow, is that online anywhere so that can be reviewed? And then my other statement is there's a weird thing happening at Red River Drive and 11 Mile. It used to have like 2 stop signs, one on the north side, well, not really north, but going east, no, going west. And it looks like one of the stop signs has been covered up by burlap. And sometimes during rush hour, it's very difficult to make a right-hand turn, obviously the only way you can turn, because there's people like, the cars just they don't stop because it's covered with burlap and they just go very, very quickly. And I just want to know, is council or anyone aware of why the stop sign has been covered? Thank you.
Because there's no exit.
Anyone else?
Good evening again. Very briefly, I wanted to put a fine point on something you said, Mayor Garrett, in talking about Wednesday's upcoming wreath-making event hosted by the Parks and Recreation Committee. That event is hosted by a resident, not a Parks and Recreation member named Ed Blondin, who's hosted many events for the city under the Parks and Recreation Committee banner, as well as the Lathrup Village Nature Club banner. The most recent Parks and Recreation event, the ornament making class, was hosted by Kim Smith Daniels. The one previous to that about woody invasives was hosted by Reed Beske. All of these are simply our neighbors, and showing up to support Parks and Recreation is also showing up to support them as individuals. The success of that group, which has been the topic of much discussion in the last several months, really hinges on our willingness and availability to participate in those events. So please, I beg of you, show up, contribute the $20, $40, $7, whatever it is to participate in that event so that they can continue to put on this programming. Thank you.
Sorry. Anyone else? Okay, so we will go to mayor and council comments. Just to address some of the questions that were brought up. With respect to lead, Mike, keep me honest here, but we're required to do 5% of replace 5% of our lead lines per year. But I believe all of the lines that we've identified are remediated. We also were required to have material inspections, which we submitted to Eagle, based on documentation that we found that when we did the last water meter replacement program about 20 years ago. To my knowledge, Eagle so far has accepted that. They haven't come back with any.
Correct, yeah, the only time we replace them now is if we find them. And then we have a contract via our agreement with SOCWA, so anytime we find one, we get it scheduled and it gets replaced.
Yeah. Jonathan, regarding the cancellation of the $2 million grant, we talked a little bit about that in the study session. The one thing I do want to add to that is that in my discussion with Jason Hoskins, our state representative, earlier today, those canceled monies do go back into the state's general fund. So there is a possibility of getting that money again, but we've got to go through we'll have to go through the procurement process. Obviously, it's still very early because this just happened a few days ago. So they're still trying to figure out what the next steps are. In terms of, Leslie, in terms of whether the Giffords-Webster presentation is online, the packet for that meeting is online. You can get that from Unicode. And if you don't know how to get that, it's linkable from the city website, isn't it?
Yep, right on the homepage.
Right on the homepage. Okay, so you can get that packet.
I have more to add to that.
Go for it.
So the packet actually lists the information that they're providing. What's actually in the packet is data collection and demographic information. The item in the packet presents a website that Giffords-Webster has set up for us for them to distribute information about the master planning project. We absolutely, the actual SWOT analysis is not in there, but we can ask them to post it on this website, which then everybody can have access to the information through that website. There's also a agenda item for tomorrow that talks about discussing community input from the project kickoff processes, the SWOT analysis, and also next steps for public engagement and determining the topics of interest to survey the public on. So the actual SWOT analysis information is not currently in the packet that's for the Planning Commission meeting tomorrow, but whatever information they do present, we can ask them to make it available online.
Thanks. And then I think the other question was about the stop sign. Again, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think MDOT, as they've been doing these projects, they've been, because the freeway entrance ramps have been closed at times, they have been blocking off the stop signs to allow traffic to go because there's no merging traffic.
Correct.
Okay. A few other things. I just want to remind residents, given that we're now in winter and there's snowfall, It is the responsibility of residents to clear their sidewalks. The ordinance indicates that sidewalks have to be cleared within 12 hours of the snow stop, and if the snow does stop overnight, then you have till 6 p.m. The next day. Obviously, we have elderly residents, people who have disabilities and so forth. If you're in that category, please try to get a neighbor to help out. I know I help out with one of my neighbors. Or, you know, I know there's kids in the neighborhood who are looking to make a buck. We did, on the positive note, we did clear a major hurdle with the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund Board for a $400,000 grant for a playscape. That does require some matching funds, and we are looking for other grants to cover those matching funds. Talked about the $2 million water fund. Also, just wanted to mention real quickly, Oakland Thrive held an event here, the first of six events that they're holding. The Phoenix Center in Pontiac has been demolished, and there's a $174 million project that's going in its place, which provides a lot of opportunities for our local contractors. So the idea behind these programs that Oakland Thrive is running is to help local contractors and businesses learn how to become a part of those projects, how to bid on them, and get some of that business. Other than that, just want to wish everybody a happy holiday, and hope you and your family have a great holiday.
I just want to say real quick, not to beat a dead horse, but congratulations to Chief Zhang, congratulations to Sergeants Houston and Roberts, and a big thank you to Chief McKee. And I'm very pleased about the discussion we had around considering solicitation of public safety services from other communities. But I'm also satisfied with the vote. I think we made had a good discussion about whether or not to look at it or not. We made a decision, and hopefully everybody who is in this room and people who are watching online and will watch in the future can see that we're just doing our due diligence, and we made the decision that this council thinks is best for the community at this time.
Quick question. I was going to ask, do you know for the children's garden, for the board, can we reach out to them to maybe put an application on the
They have one. They have an interest link that we've been sharing in our newsletter.
I missed
So
it.
yeah,
Sorry.
if there are parties that are interested, they can fill out that. And then
Okay.
if they get enough, maybe they have their own 501c3, so they could potentially control their own destiny. But if they don't, the Parks and Rec have discussed considering taking it out.
Okay. That's all I have. Oh, you know what? I was going to say, Diane, I thought that was a good idea to visit the libraries that we were discussing. I thought that was a good idea. So I'm going to take the liberty to visit Berkeley, even though I have no hopes of switching. But I'll do that. I thought that was a great idea. Thank you.
So if I can help now. I want to say that my thoughts and prayers are out for what happened at Bondi Beach, and also at Brown University. My understanding is that they still have not found the shooter for Brown University, so I hope that at some point in our world we'll get gun control under control for the most part. I want to thank everyone that participated in the Forgotten Harvest food drive. Now it's the fun thing of trying to figure out how to transport that much food over to Forgotten Harvest. And then happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Just real quick, a couple of things. Speaking of Parks and Rec, I just wonder if it's something they would consider suggesting to us, or vice versa, to possibly increase the size of their committee, because they are tasked with a lot of things, and I think they could possibly benefit from additional participation. Also, I attended the holiday party here, and I thought it was really good. Some people said it was a little dark inside, but nonetheless, I liked it, and the tree was exciting. I missed a couple of the I don't know if they didn't light. It was strange, but it was a good. I don't know why I'm saying all that. It was a good event, and I enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it too. A couple of real quick things. Could you just clarify? You mentioned the park money, but my understanding is it would still need legislative approval. Like we've been recommended for that money.
Yeah, so the way the trust fund board works is they put their recommendation out there for projects, whether it's land acquisition or park projects like this, and then it just has to go through the approval process through the state legislator. I've never seen natural trust, because natural trust fund gets their money separately than just normal taxes.
Okay.
I've never seen that projects get denied through the state.
Yeah.
So this is highly likely to move forward, especially with their award email. They said, hey, you can start incurring costs now for reimbursement later. So we're fairly confident, so we still got some steps to go.
Oh, it's great
But
to hear.
Realistically, it's just, this isn't gonna be a project that happens this summer. This would be a 2027 project at the earliest.
Okay, and then the last thing, I would encourage everybody to go to the Planning Commission meeting tomorrow. I just want to register that I had some issues with the way that the initial plan was, or the initial meeting with the public came off. One, it didn't get a lot of promotion, it was sort of late, and the citizens didn't show up, residents didn't show up in force. Some did, but I think, when you look at that data, you're looking at the data from the committee members, they showed up in force, that was great, committee did, but just the free-floating residents was very small, so that data is what it is, it's a small sampling. And also, if you look at it, if they actually present it as a SWOT, it makes no sense because the information gathering was not done like a SWOT. It was an interesting thing. So I have issues with it, but that's not the point. The point is you have more time, you have more opportunity to start to get involved with this, and tomorrow seems like the first time. I think this is the most important way that residents can get involved if they want to affect the future of this community, and that really starts tomorrow. So I hope everybody here and all your friends show up for that one.
And
Thanks.
just to pile on, right,
Yeah.
there is an agenda item, community engagement.
Yes, I saw that. I mean, I heard you say that, and I think that's fantastic. So come and be engaged.
Actually, John reminded me of one thing. I've noticed the last week or so, the holiday lights on the north side of the building have not been on.
Yeah, it's something wrong with the electrical outside. We're trying to figure it
Working on
out,
it.
but yeah, it's the
Okay.
electrical, it's not the lights.
Okay. All right, so we have some closed session business, and just so the residents know before we move to go into closed session, we will come out of closed session, and there will be some potential items to act upon after the closed session.
I'll make a motion to enter into a closed session for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement for MCL 15.268C.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Do we hit the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jennings, Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond,
Yes.
Councilmember
Hey,
Suzanne.
we're still in session.
We're still in session.
So, did you get my yes?
Yes.
Is that every? Did you get, I didn't hear. Did you get through it all, everybody? Yeah. Okay. So
Did you get?
Yep, I thought you all said yes, it was a little
Did you
loud.
say
I
yes?
thought I heard the
Yes.
yeses.
I'm saying yes now.
Councilmember Suzanis?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond?
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
Jennings?
Yes.
And Mayor Cantor?
yes. So, the motion. So we'll go into closed session and come out afterwards. Would somebody like to make a motion to reconvene?
I'll make a motion to come out of closed session and reconvene the city council.
Second.
That one doesn't have to be voted on, right? Or does? Does? Okay, I thought there was one that didn't have to be voted on. Okay, a roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett?
Yes.
Mayor Cantor?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond?
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Okay, the next item is going to be item 16, which is a request to approve the letter of agreement between the City of Lathrup Village and the Lathrup Village Police Officers Association.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of agreement between the City of Lathrup Village and the Lathrup Village Police Officers Association.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond?
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis?
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett?
Yes.
Mayor Cantor?
Yes. Next item on the agenda, item 17, request to approve a letter of agreement between the City of Lathrup Village and the Lathrup Village Command Officers Association.
Motion to approve the letter of agreement between the City of Lathrup Village and the Lathrup Village Command Officers Association.
Second.
Motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Jennings?
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Yes.
And last item, number 18, a request to approve the Personnel Manual of Employment Regulation updates.
Motion to approve Personnel Manual of Employee Regulations updates.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion?
Quick, this is the one pertaining to like, we talked about, you guys talked about a few meetings ago, about like paid overtime, et cetera, et cetera.
No.
No, this is to change so that the payroll goes from 24 to 26, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Any other questions, discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hammond.
Yes.
Councilmember Jennings.
Yes.
Councilmember Suzanis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garrett.
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes. Motion's approved. If there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. It's been, let's meeting adjourned.